Hi YouTube. Right, it's back to the grind. Just like to say, I had a fantastic party for any of you who've been watching some of my videos, and the one I put up about my father's 65th birthday present. It's fantastic. He really enjoyed it, loved his cake, and I had a great time, and it was a fantastic birthday I had with him, and it meant a lot. Anyway, thank you to the well wishes and the comments and stuff. Fantastic. It means a great deal. Anyway, I dyed the sheath. For some reason I've messed with the camera. It seems a little bit better today. I don't know why. It seems to be picking up stuff a little bit better. Let me just try and focus back out a bit. I don't know why it's a bit better today, but I've messed with the settings, and seems like it's picking up a little bit better. Anyway, so we've done that, and what I've done is I've left the strap just a little bit lighter. So what we'll do, sometimes it's nice to do this when you'll have this strap across. You'll be able to see this. You'll have a little bit of a contrast. It'll look kind of nice. When I've put the finishes on, this will dull down a little bit, and because he wanted it more of the dark end of the spectrum of a saddle tan, so I've left this more of a medium in the spectrum rather than the original colour, and I've darkened this saddle tan down so it's just saddle tan. But as you bend the sheath and stuff and move it around, it'll lighten. It just does. So what we need to do now is we're going to be needing to glue this part in to there, like we said on the others. I did burnish the edges, but I'm going to go over them just quickly again, and we'll need to be stitching this just inside. I'll show you how we go about that. If you remember, we feathered all this out. Then we'll glue this down, and we'll be left with that, like that. Whoops. Left with that, like that, and you know, we'll start looking at the welt system then. So right off the bat, I'm going to check on my glue. I think I might have to use my other version at the minute, which I don't like to use too much because this has been left obviously over the weekend, and you know how funny I am, and I can't remember whether I did the video on this being really runny. To be honest, even though there's quite a bit in here, this has got to go and I've got to start afresh. But for today, I'll use my other glue because I like to make a little bit of this up, and like I said on the other one, if I can remember, I'll use a contact adhesive thinner, which is this product. And I can't remember whether I told you, the reason why I use that is because, excuse me, I like to thin my glue down so that it actually penetrates into the fibres of the leather rather than sit on top, and you get a much better bond. But I will do a video just on using contact adhesive and gluing up at some point, and I'll show you exactly what I mean and how it penetrates and the better bond you'll get with your leather products. Anyway, so for now, because I'll need to sort that out, I won't use that like that today. We'll see how this is. I do use this Tanner Bond. It's okay, there's nothing wrong with it, but I buy my contact adhesive actually comes in. I buy mine in, I've got 5 or 6 big pots, and it's like a special blend of contact adhesive, and you know, this is what I use in much bigger quantities, and I thin that down. This stuff, to be honest, is quite thin, and this is about the consistency because it's been so hot in here. Hopefully, I bet, yes. You see how runny that is? It's just falling off the... It's not like water, but it's just literally falling off. Now, a lot of times this stuff, when it's been out here and it's been cold, is not like this. It's just because we've had an heat wave here, and it's done this for me, which I haven't had to add any thinner. This should be alright as it is. I don't use this glue very often, like I say, but I'm a bit behind and I haven't got time to do that up today and this video for you guys, so I'm going to use this for these little bits today, and this, and it's perfectly fine. It's a great contact adhesive. I just... you know, I'll have to make up a batch of that with a thinner, and maybe I'll do a video on how I do that as well to show you. for today this will be great. So anyway, what we need to do now is, I'll just double check, and I'll put this out of the way. Excuse me, blimey, it's hot again. Figure out where we were and make some marks. Sorry if I keep going out of shot. Let's go back a bit more. No. Maybe if I move over a bit, or maybe if I tilt you up just a tad. I think that's a little bit better, I think. Maybe. Let's see where we are with this. Okay, I'll just do a little dry fit here, and so I can get an idea of what we're doing. That's got to come down quite a bit to that line. That's got to go up to those 2 marks that we put on. It's got to come down to there, like that. Still got to come down. Okay, what we do is we get the knife now. Okay. We'll seat this in to our marks. Let's try and zoom you in a little bit more, how it was before. Oh, did I put the camera down a little bit? Just while I'm doing this. So I can show you a little bit. Sorry about this, guys, I'm just trying to get the best I can for you. Anyway. Okay. Just do a little dry fit here. Zoom you back out. Okay. Right, so we want that kind of angle. Right, okay. We'll just grip that, let these fall away. And that there is ideal. So what we'll do is we'll take a little pen, because this will be, you know, nobody will see this here. We'll just put a couple of little marks. It also, when you mark around stuff like this, it just gives you rough lines where you want the glue to be. There's no need putting excess glue, you know, over, or when you do something like this, I'll always glue within those lines. And what we'll do now is let's do a little mark there like that. So now I know that that little square is where I need this to sit, and it's at the right angle. So what we'll do, we'll pop a little bit of contact adhesive on this. Okay. That was close. I was worrying about the customer's knife being too near the glue. Luckily it's fell just on the inside and not on the sheath, thank the Lord. And just a little bit there. Oh, it's close. It would have come off and I would have been able to sort it, but it's not something that you want really. And lucky, I'm not, my other name, funnily enough, that I'm known for on a lot of the forums is Lucky Lee. It's what people know me as rather than the LB leather. Anyway guys, we'll start again. That Lucky Lee doesn't always come off, mind you. And we'll get this glue in here now in this little square. Try and just keep within them lines as much as possible. What we'll do is we'll let that dry first, or if you need to speed things up like I do normally, we'll, you know, just get that air dryer and we use that to, you know, with the contact adhesive as well. You need to bond the two parts. It is very important. And as always, I'll let this dry and give it 2 coats. Always, I'll give things 2 coats because of what I said about the, you know, it's sinking into the leather and that bond. And I'll keep going on about it. I will do this video for you about this contact adhesive, and then I won't have to keep telling you. Oh, I hope you all had a great weekend, guys, as well. I mean, the weather's been great. I've really enjoyed it, and I've just been this morning to my 7-year-old sports day and watched him do the egg and spoon race, and you know, do the sack race and that type of stuff. It was good to watch, and he was, you know, proud to see his dad there, and you know, it's good when you do that for your kids. You know, they love to see you there as parents. So if you can make it to these type of things, if you can, you know, with work and, you know, and stuff like that, I understand. But if you can, you know, do try and go to these sports days for your kids and stuff like that. It means the world to them. Right, we'll get another bit of glue on here for your second coat, because that'll be dry now, especially in the winter time. These things take a little bit longer. That's why I tend to use the hairdresser, the hairdryer a lot. In the summer, like now, and with this kind of heat, these contact adhesives do not take long at all, and they don't really need to be, you know, you don't really need to use the hairdryer. A couple of minutes and these are dry and ready for the next bit. So while that's drying, I'm just going to literally, because it'll be hard to do once it's on, take a bit of the edge dye, even though it's been done twice, sorry, when they first come out after dyeing, and then when they dried a bit I did it again. I'll just whip this one over because I can't get to it again after that, and just before I glue them down, I'll just quickly run over this. And get that nice shining slicked edge, which prolongs the life of the edges. Look I'm after. See how shiny and slick it is? That's what you want. It'll be the same for the inside. If you buy good decent leather, these type of things shouldn't be a problem. You see how slick that is now inside? It's lovely and soft, and it'll, you know, that's because I've created enough heat to bond those fibres together, and that'll stay lovely. I will apply a different finish on the inside to these straps, I always do, but for now, right, make sure I put this on the right way, then we'll go to the old smooth faced hammer, and hope you've sorted one, by the way, John. I hope you get which one you need, and look forward to seeing your video with you using it, mate. You won't look back once you've got one of them, I'll tell you. I just hope you don't turn into me and get a thing for them, and keep buying them. Right, I'll just pop the glue on while I'm going to tap this. Hopefully the camera doesn't try and knock me out. I'll go a bit lighter than normal. Sorry about the shaking, guys. Something that has to be done. Take the hand on that I've incidentally, these, you know, just a few that I've got to hand here, they are different sized ones, a little bit different if you've noticed. This is an, whoop, 2 seconds, it's one of my punches deciding to jump off the wall. It's a little one again, and then there's another one here which is even smaller again. This is the size, I mean, this is a great size. This is the size that I prefer the most. This is a military one, John, if that helps. It's got the military stamp on it, that kind of like arrow. So I really do like this one. These are proper cobblers ones, and this TW one's a nice one. Okay, let's pop these hammers back a second. Okay, I've got a couple more in the other one. Right, what I'd like to do one day with these guys is get somebody to put some scrolls and stuff. I'd like somebody to take one of these and real pretty one of these up for me and do some real pretty scrolls and stuff, like, you know, when they do the guns and they, you know, they groove out all the, I can't think of the word I'm looking for, when they put all the patterns into the, I'd really love to have one of these hammers done like that one day, or maybe learn it myself and have a go, or anyway, that's that in. What we're going to do now is, I'm more than happy with that stuck due to the weather today. Take a little pricking iron. I'm going to get my brass hammer, which I use, because you never want to hit metal to metal with any of these. You want to use a brass mallet, or here's another great hammer. I have these in 4 different sizes. These Thor hammers have got brass on the one end, and they've got a rawhide on the other. These are fantastic. This is a number 1. I have these from 1 to 4, and they are superb hammers. They're great for your strap end punches and stuff like that, because they've got a bit of extra weight. Something like this number 3 is absolutely perfect for your strap end punches and heavier items. So instead of having to whack it, you can just give it, you know, lift the hammer up, 1 tap, and it's just done. Very clean, very smooth, very precise. And you use the right weight of hammer for the right type of job. I've found it makes life a lot easier. Just like anything, I suppose, the right tools. Anyway, we'll get these holes pricked, lads. And right. See, if that glue, that contact adhesive, wouldn't have stuck properly, when I went through this with a pricking iron, you'd come to pull the pricking iron out and it would try and pull that off the leather itself. That's when you know you've got a good bond, when you can just take that out like that and there's not a problem at all. Okay, we now have the holes pricked, and what we'll do now is have a drink of pop and get a single stitch groove. I'll take a small ruler, a little ruler, and we'll groove out these pricked holes so that the stitching is nice and recessed. Because the handle will be resting on these, and you want these sitting, you know, you don't want them sitting proud. And wherever possible, always try and recess your stitches. At the end of the day, it's only going to prolong the life of them, of your stitches and your thread within the stitches. What I'll also do is I'll do a different type of stitching and stuff for when I make wallets and stuff like that. I'll do a tutorial on the traditional way of stitching that I'll do with a pricking iron and all. I'll do a tutorial on that too, where on some of them items I don't use a stitch groove, because the way I like to get my stitches to lay at a certain angle, proper saddle stitch, you know, if you put the groove in with those, it doesn't tend to run so neat. And there's some items where the recessing's not needed as much, but with sheaths and stuff like this that get kind of hard use, you want to be recessing them. Anything to help prolong that life of that sheath for your customer can only help. Anything I can make that sheath last longer for that customer, then I'll do it. You know, I wouldn't give as long as guarantee as I do if, you know, if I thought my products were going to fail after a year or two. Right, what we'll do now is we'll take a bit of the saddle tan and we'll take a little brush and we'll just paint these little stitch grooves in so everything's as one and it doesn't stand out. When you're painting these little lines in, after you've used your stitch groover to go over your stitches, if you do run over just a little bit, due to it being the same colour, don't panic too much with this. It will blend in quite nicely. If you know, I'm not saying go like 500 miles away from it, but if you press your brush down and you go just over the line or something, don't think, oh, you know, I've messed it up, you know, and it will blend in obviously because it's the same colour and it will settle down and it will be okay. What we'll do now is, as always, excuse me lads, it's been that hot in here. What I use for cleaning my brushes out, the water's actually dried up. Blimey. I'll just pop some water in quick, rather than stop the video. As you can probably tell by now from my other videos, I'm a stickler for keeping my stuff and my tools right. Straight into the water. Bit of kitchen roll onto the brush. Wipe it into the shape you like your brush, and it will stay like that, ready for when you come to do fill your next stitch lining. I keep certain brushes for certain things. Always keep a little bit of kitchen roll near me as well, screwed up. You know, if you drop the die or you drop something or you make a mistake, you know, it's nice to have to just grab that straight away. You don't want to be going to the roll and messing about. Not with die, by then it's too late. Right, okay, we'll get the stitch groove now. A number 6 this, and we'll go over those stitch lines.